Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, June 28th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. And we have a lot to discuss, which is very nice, and that includes new projects and new test knits. Are we surprised? I have all the various social medias. I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, and please go follow me over on there. See all the test knits that I am doing and will be posting soon, which is very exciting. And I also have show notes, so the things that I will be talking about hopefully will be linked on my blog. So if you are on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below, or if you are on my blog already, everything is already there. I also work at a yarn shop. It is called Pearly Girls in Spring, Texas, and I will leave all the website, social media stuff, all the places, so if you would like to come check us out in person, if you are local or visiting, or you can check out our website or just follow us on Instagram, that would be wonderful. Yes, I have quite a few things to show you. I'm very excited. And then I have a housekeeping announcement. So let's just get into it. If you like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold. Maybe you're on your lunch break. You could be folding laundry. I already said that. I have laundry to fold soon because the dryer is currently working, doing its job. Yay. And whatever brings you joy and is relaxing to you, or maybe this is helping you spur on through some to-do list item that you didn't really want to do, which we all have those things, and maybe I hope that this will help you get through whatever task you have to do. So with that, you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. First off, I would like to say that I'm going to take next week off. So there will not be an episode next week because I am going to Colorado with Sam to see my family over the 4th of July. Next weekend is the 4th of July here in America. So we will be doing that with some family, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, so I will be not here next week. I am very sorry, but also it's good to take time off. That's one of my goals this year. I think I've been doing good. So I've had a lot of progress this week, so I'm really excited to see what progress I can do in the 2 weeks that are coming up, especially with all the traveling that we'll be doing. Because I still got a lot done this past week, even though I had a very big weekend. Friend of mine, her friends of ours got married, and it was super fun, and we were doing stuff in the wedding. I was in the wedding, and knitting still happened. It was very good. And it was just a good old time, you know? It was a good old time. So, how do we talk about all this stuff? So I've got 3 test knits and 2 me projects currently. And you're probably wondering, wow, last time we chatted you only had 1 test knit, now you have 3. Yes, I definitely did. I did this to myself. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. 2 of these things are not sweaters. One of them is a sweater, and you've already seen that one because I showed it to you last week. These other 2 are accessories. So when I signed up for them, I was like, they're accessories. They'll go fast, and I'm right because they're accessories. I still, while I've been talking, I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to show you first. I still haven't decided, and now I'm done talking. So let's just go with this sweater test knit that I'm working on. So this is my Sunday Fun Day sweater by Jill of Knitterella, and I have all this yarn and ball bands on the top, and this is not very helpful. Okay. I've made a lot of progress. If you couldn't tell, if you could not tell. So, okay, I've now removed all the yarn that I need from this bag. So, this is my Sunday Fun Day sweater. I don't remember last time. Oh yeah, I do. Because I have a progress keeper. That's why I use progress keepers, people. Also because they're fun, but so I can show you my progress, which has been astounding, if I do say so myself. This is on a Scooby. Let me see if I can undo this. So it's not looking weird. Basically, it's a bottom-up striped sweater. You've got 3 contrast colors on the bottom, and then you have your main color up at the top. And I have completed all 3 of my stripes, and I have divided for the front and the back because that is just the general construction of a bottom-up sweater. And this is not working out how I wanted it to. Okay, I think this will work. I always tie my Scoobies really tight, and I always regret it when I go and try and untie them. Anyway, so I don't remember which one I'm working on first, whether it's the front or the back, but currently they look the same. Ooh, can we move my colors? I'm so happy. This is very blown out. Can we do it over here? That's better. So, but I also don't want to knock over my coffee with my head. That would be weird. Things you don't hear every day. I knocked over my coffee cup with my head. So this is my Sunday Fun Day sweater so far. It is a high-low hem, which doesn't look super great right now because it's rolling, but clearly we have a longer version, or a longer side, and we have a shorter side, and I'm just loving it. I love the look of a high-low hem, especially on a knit sweater that I've made, or that people make or whatever. I like that as a design element. They are not my favorite to knit, that is for sure. I just don't like, am I losing stitches? Oh my goodness, are we for real? Ugh. This is the worst. Because I do want to talk about this yarn that I'm using for my main color. It is incredibly splitty. I may have to tie this up again. Okay, we've seen how this looks. Okay, this is the body, the basic body. I have not worked on the other side, but I will eventually. So I'm going to tie this back up so I don't lose any more stitches and cause more of a mess than I have to. And I will tie this in a better way so I can undo it quickly and easily next time. So it's DK. There's that. This is a good stash buster. For my yarns, I am using this that I didn't find the ball band. It's not that I couldn't, it's that I didn't, and I forgot, and I apologize. This is, I know it's an ultra alpaca of some sort, but I know that it works. Next up we have this Coffee Toffee colorway, which I just love the name. It is Malabrigo Finito. And then thirdly, I have this beautiful color, which is, ooh, can I remember the name of it? I know it's Eden Cottage Yarns in the Black Magic Rose colorway. This is the Boland DK. Boland? Boland. How many different ways can we say this? Let's just say it 15 times in a row. Yes, we're moving on. So these are my stripes. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I realized that like currently it doesn't look like much, and that's a problem with the high-low hem. Like when you knit it, it just won't stay flat. Like it'll roll. And just ribbing in general does that too. And so, but blocking, we all know, it fixes everything. It makes things lay nicely. So that's nice. It's just, I find it frustrating in the process of knitting because like when I hold it up to show someone or something like that, or I show it to you guys, it's like the bottom just looks really wonky because everything's flipping up and it just doesn't look good. But we all know it's what the problem is. We all know what the situation is, so it's not a problem. You know, it's not a problem. Anyway, so my main color, I'm using a new to me yarn. I had seen this yarn forever ago and wanted to try it, and then finally trying it, and it is the Feels Like Alpaca from Lion brand, and I have the taupe color, which I guessed last week, and I was right, because yes. Here is the ball band. Feels Like Alpaca. There's no alpaca in this, by the way. It is all acrylic, polyester, and nylon. But it definitely feels like there's alpaca, and the drape on this thing is just beautiful. It's very shiny, which I think is interesting, and it's got fuzz to it, so it looks like it's fuzzy alpaca-y. It is so splitty. People like, maybe that's too extreme. It's not super splitty. I've knit with more splitty yarns, but it is still splitty. And I don't know, sometimes I find that very irritating, especially when I'm wanting to go fast, because I'm just knitting back and forth, and it's just going to town. And then I have a splitty yarn, and it slows me down. But it is knitting up very well. I think it is creating a beautiful fabric. I like the fuzz texture that is in it. I don't know how well you can see, if you can see the fuzzy. But it's very nice. The fuzzies are actually not the same color of the yarn, so they're not taupe. They are black and white, and it's not like or maybe black and light gray. Maybe it's probably not white, but it's a nice blend. It goes very nicely, and I think it makes it look more authentically like an alpaca yarn, I feel like. I wish you could see it. Well, I have no idea if you can see that, so I apologize if you cannot, but hopefully my descriptions have been ample. So yeah, I was just tootling along, going to town. Before I knew it, I was slightly past my length that I needed, and I was ready to divide. So last time I showed it to you, I was here. And look at me now, I've divided for the front and the back. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna pat myself on the shoulder for that one. Like, I don't know. It's knitting around and around and around. I think I was reading when I was working on this. I think that's what it was as well. But yes, this is my Little Betty Delight cinnamon roll. I do love her stuff so much. This is nothing new. We all know this by now. But yeah, I love how these colors look together. I think it is just stunning. And I love how this, like, variegated, it's not super variegated, but it is just enough to say that I would call it a variegated. And I am so excited to wear this when it's not hot, because it's hot right now. And there's storms coming. It's been a weird day for storms on this Monday. It may be a weird day for storms on the day that you're watching this on Wednesday, but I don't know, because we don't really know what the weather does. It just kind of does what it wants. Another pet peeve of mine, just in general, but I'm mentioning this because this ball is definitely, this is the floppiest skein, and I don't like pulling from the middle of these kinds, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna pull out of a massive thing of yarn barf, and it's gonna get super tangled and will just be a massive mess. So, and then it'll just continue to get tangled on itself on the inside. So I really don't like pulling from the middle on these kinds of balls of yarn. That's just my personal preference, but I don't like how floppy this is, because this is 100% gonna fall apart. Like, this is gonna fall apart. So what I really should do is I should detach this and wind it. Or I could actually pull from the middle and wind it from the middle. You know, I probably should do that. It is very slick though, because like I said, it is shiny. It's just such an interesting yarn. I would definitely knit with this again, for sure. It's not my top pick though, but if I needed something that had a really nice drape and I didn't want to break the bank, I would use this, for sure. Would highly recommend. I'm trying to think of other things. Ooh, like a V-neck boxy by Joji Locatelli. I think that would be gorgeous. Because that is good with some drape. Anything with drape, really, that you want to have drape. Ooh, summery tops. Though this wouldn't be summery necessarily, but the drape would be very nice. So, that is my first test knit. Just jabbed myself with the needles. That's okay, no big deal. And yeah, this is not due until August 1st. So I've got plenty of time, which is good because the other two definitely have a much more upcoming due date, which is fine because again, they're accessories. It's okay. And yeah, I'm not worried about this at all. Depending on where I get on this coming week before we leave, I may not take this with me. My ultimate goal in a perfect world, I would finish both of these test knits that I'm about to show you and be able to take pictures of both of them when we are in Colorado, because that's what I do now. I save up all my finished objects and eventually take pictures when I go and visit my parents, because they have all the mountains in their backyard, literally all their mountains, and gotta take advantage of that, you know. And I have a new phone tripod-y thing to actually attach to my tripod, which my camera is currently attached to, so I can't actually show you my tripod. But my other one broke, which is fine because I've had it for maybe 3 years, 4 years, 3 years probably. And it lived a good long life. It was not like super well made. It was for like a Amazon brand or something like that. And it just finally broke. And actually it broke a couple times and Sam glued it back together for me. So I made it work and it's now just the gluing parts will no longer be glued. So I have a new one of those, which is really exciting, and now I can like start taking, in my mind, nice pictures again, because currently the past couple pictures or past finished object pictures have either been taken by Sam, which I really appreciate and he does a wonderful job, or I find random things to set my phone up against and to use my little Bluetooth remote to take pictures, which is funny because then it's just a funny thing to be like, oh, you see this picture? I actually set my phone up against my coffee cup set up on top of a water heater, or a water meter, reader, whatever. Air conditioner? Little post. I don't even remember what it was, but it was when I took pictures of my Recalibrate top by Shanna Designs, which the pre-orders are happening right now. So if you want to go and pre-order your pattern, would highly recommend. It will be released soon, which is very exciting. But yeah, I had finagled my phone in such a way that it was propped up against my coffee cup, and I don't even remember what it was exactly, but it was something very random. It was a meter of some sort. I don't even remember what it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but it's funny to think about like the things that we do to somehow take pictures, to somehow take nice pictures, and you just gotta be creative, you know? You just kind of gotta do what you gotta do, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but that's okay. It's fine. It's all an adventure. It's a creative adventure, you know? Gotta put these puzzle pieces together to make them work, take them nice pictures that you like, and then you're good. You were good to go. So, that was a little tangent, but now you know part of my picture taking process. Okay, so next up, I've got two things. This is less balls of yarn to hold up. So I will show you a little bit of this because this is a semi-secret project. I can't show you the whole thing, but I will show you some of it. So here's some of it. Is this not beautiful? Can we even look at these slip stitches? People like, what? And this color and the garter stitch and the squish, which you can't tell, but the squish is real. I am so excited to be testing this accessory thing. Don't remember what exactly she wanted to call it, but for Shannon Cook. And I'm so excited to be testing for her. I have been a big fan of her for a very long time, and I knit one of her patterns back in college, and I knit another one of her patterns a couple years ago that's like one of my favorite massive cowls of all time, and there's bobbles and there's lace and it's just so squishy. It's the Winterberry, I don't remember, but I love it. It's dark gray and it's just, it goes with literally everything. I love her patterns. They're very well written. And I'm so excited to be able to test this thing for her, and so that's very exciting for me. She is such a nice person, and everyone. Like, this could not have been more perfect. So forever ago, I was definitely podcasting at this time, and I decided for some reason I had a bunch of Loft from Brooklyn Tweed, and I love the color and I really wanted to make it work, and for some reason I decided to hold it together, hold it double, and knit a cabled sweater. And I had at the time, I don't think I really knew what I was doing. I have no idea what was going on with the sweater. It was just going badly. And so after a while of just being frustrated with the project and like trying to make it work and it wasn't working, I just frogged it, and that was that. But because of that, I had this massive ball of Loft that is 2 strands. And I was always like just not really wanting to use it, which is terrible because Loft is just such a beautiful yarn. But because it was 2 strands of Loft, and like I didn't really want to take the time to figure out how much yardage I had, and this is significantly smaller than it used to be. It used to probably be out to here. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, probably out to there. And so it just sat and sat and sat and sat and sat, and thankfully it's still in very good shape. But my time is now, because this uses a worsted weight yarn, and I believe, oh, I don't remember which one she used, but I believe she used the Durum Natra. I don't think I'm saying that right, and I apologize, and I should be able to say that right because it's a French company. But the worsted weight one, she used that, so I knew it was kind of like a woolly yarn that I wanted to use, and I didn't have any yarn like that was worsted that would fit with the gauge, and that I also had enough yardage. And then I remembered this, and I was like, oh my goodness, now is the time. Now is this time for this thing to shine. I have other little bits that I can put together as well, and I am just so excited. Also because I just adore this color. Are we surprised? Yes, I am an Aggie. I bleed maroon. Kind of. Do I take it that seriously? Not necessarily. Not always. Sometimes I do, but I just love maroon. I would love maroon even if I wasn't an Aggie. Which, if you don't know what an Aggie is, I went to Texas A&M University. We are Aggies. The Aggies are we. And maroon and white are our colors. Yeah, I think it's maroon. Yeah, it's maroon and white. I always, for some reason, I question myself. I double question myself if it's white or cream for some reason. I apologize. And for some reason, I need to be confident that it's white, because it is. So anyway, long story short, I love this color. This color is just absolutely stunning. I don't remember what this color is, or if they still do this color. I would assume they do. Brooklyn tweed, I mean. But it is just stunning. So let me show you this now that we've had this long story time. Here's this little bit. Look at that stitch definition. Look at these slip stitches. Can we even look at that garter stitch? It is just so squishy. And what's also really cool, and I think is very fun, is that her first pattern that I knit was a shawl, and I also used Brooklyn tweed on that, and I used Shelter on that, and it was I feel like we got that yarn for a special occasion, like it might have been my birthday or something like that, but it was really wonderful. I love that shawl. It is another one of my frequently worn shawls when it's cold, but it's just so squishy, and I know that a lot of people don't think that it's the softest, which you're right, it's not the softest. It is not the softest, especially around your neck, and I know that it can be very irritating, and there's something about like the woolliness that I just love. I love wearing it around my neck. I love just the woolliness. It doesn't really bother my neck too much. I know sometimes it can be a little itchy, but thankfully it doesn't bother me that much. But I do know it bothers some people, and that is completely understandable. It does get softer over time though, so if you are knitting with it and you're like, wow, this is very scratchy, what have I gotten myself into? Just be patient. It will soften up with time. I also have another shawl I think it's actually right over here. One moment, I will be right back. Yes, so I have another shawl that I wore so much in 2015 for a particular reason, and I will tell you why. This is the color Affection by Vera Valimaki. I used Loft, and I have these beautiful neutrals. So my goal was, I finished this right before my study abroad in 2015 when I was in France for 10 weeks. Fun fact, if you didn't know that about me. And I love this thing so much. I wore it so much. And it's just the most woolly thing. Like, and just the neutrals. I wanted this because I knew it was neutrals, and I wanted like this very chic striped shawl thing, and I think I accomplished that. I think I definitely met my goal. I love this thing. I wore this to Bits and Pieces. Not that this is in Bits and Pieces, but you know what I mean. And it's such a nice yarn. And it is so much softer, because also I think over time I feel like also this is very old. So there is that. But over time it's like slightly felted to each other, so it's even more like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like fabric-y necessarily, because it's not that felted together. But it's definitely fuzzed up in a very like well-worn way. I don't know if you can even see that. I feel like you'd have to feel it to understand what exactly I'm talking about. I apologize. That was not helpful, but this is also a good shawl pattern if you want to play around with fun colors, or just have a wonderful neutrally fun thing of goodness. Lots of short rows. Love it. I do not remember what my colors are. All I know is that I love this, and yeah, I really love Loft. It is beautiful. A little bit more on the pricey side, so it is a treat. It is definitely a treat, but I am such a fan. Such a fan. So I'm excited to be doing this thing for Shannon Cook, of all people. I'm so excited. I need to put this over there, otherwise I had it all organized. You know, if we set systems in place, we have to continue on with the systems, otherwise the systems will not work. So yes, I'm super excited about this. This is due middle of July. So I have full confidence that it should be fine. People who are testing this are almost done at this point, and it's barely been a week, if that. So I'm not worried about it. It'll be fine. Next up, I'm test knitting a pair of fingerless mitts for someone that I've test knit before. Her name is Brianne Moody. And I test knit something for her. I think it may have been her first pattern. I honestly don't remember. It was around there. She was very new to designing at the time. Since then, she's designed so many fun things, and it's just so cool to see her success and just being more creative and creating these new patterns. It's very exciting. So I test knit the Fog Lines shawl wrap thing forever ago. I used a bunch of Noro, if you may remember. And I'm now doing the Fog Line mitts. And everyone, can we even? Like, what? I still have to do the thumb. The thumb still needs to be done, but otherwise it is done. And I knit this. I almost knit the entire thing in a day, but I took a break because I wanted to knit on other things. But like, can we even? Can we even? This is such a fun combination of yarns. This would be such a good stash buster. I am using worsted weight, but I'm getting the gauge that the pattern calls for. So I believe she may have used a fingering, honestly, but mine's just very dense, and I love it. I think I honestly don't know about the yarn that she used. Anyway, the point is that I have used a worsted weight. I have gotten the gauge that is required, and that is what has mattered, or what is mattering. What matters? What am I saying? It's just, I keep trying and it's not the right thing. Anyway, so again, I've used Noro because Noro just looks so good, and I've knit many a fingerless mitt out of Noro, and it has never fallen apart. It always just lasts so beautifully. And can we, even with these colors, like, what? So I actually have two different skeins of Noro going on in this one. I have this one, and then I was working with this one. So the smaller one is most of this, but these little guys and these guys up here are from this. And my plan is to then on the other one swap them. So this will be the one color that you see more of, and then this will be the little bits and pieces, which currently, no, it won't end up being the same color around the same time. I was worried that would happen, but I think it'll be fine. And then my gray is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in an unknown color. But I'm so happy with how this turned out, guys. Like, what? I hear the rain. The rain is coming. The storm has arrived. Storm number 2 of the day. Like, what? I love this so much. Though I will say, with mitts and wanting to have a good gauge and wanting to have them be dense enough so they actually like keep your hands warm, you do have to knit on a very small needle if you're using bigger yarn. And goodness gracious, my hands are not happy when I knit on these things. But that is a small price to pay. It does not last very long, and obviously breaks are important. Taking care of your hands is important. Listening to what your hands need. But like, what? What? So I knit the body of these on a 4, and then I knit the ribbing on a 3. So, and I still have the thumb to do. So I'm excited to see how the other one turns out. I will hopefully have both of them done by the next time that I see you all. And I will have fun pictures of them in front of the mountains. Because, yes. Also, it is too hot to take pictures of them here and pretend that it is cold. Or even chilly. Because it's not. It's too hard to pretend. That being said, I know that there are other places in the United States that are hotter right now, and places that are not equipped for the heat, such as the West Coast, Northwest Coast, and that is very sad. And I hope that they do not suffer too much from the heat. We all know it is very bad. But anyway, I took a little tangent. I'm excited about these. These are the Fogline mitts. And yeah, I think it's a good stash buster. Excuse me. Ooh. I apologize. I'm sleepy, apparently. So yeah, I'm excited about these. These are also due in the middle of July. Again, not worried about it because, like I said, I almost knit the first one in an entire day. We all know the second one goes faster. Sleeves, socks, mitts, mittens, anything. Fronts of bodies, backs of bodies, pieces of bodies of sweater. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean, you know. We all understand each other. So, yes. The Fogline Mitts by Brianne Moody. Hopefully it'll be coming out in the near future. And then you can get yourself a copy. And you can also Christmas gifts. Like, what? So good. So good. Looks fancy. Isn't tricky or challenging at all. So the perfect gift. So now we're moving out of the test knit realm. And we're moving into things that I've been working on for myself. And I got some amount of progress on my Wool and Honey. That's what I was working on over the weekend with wedding events, which was so much fun. Even if it was warm, we still had so much fun. Yeah, I knit about an inch. Maybe a little bit more than an inch, but that's okay. I'll still show it to you anyway. It will look exactly the same, except we do have a progress keeper to show you how much I have knit. We sing things as we go. Just keeps things interesting, you know. Why say it when you can sing it? So this is this is my Wool and Honey. This is my wool. I apologize. I will focus. This is my Wool and Honey sweater by Andrea Mowry. I am using Knit Picks palette in the Pumice Heather colorway. I almost said asphalt. That is not the color. It is pumice. I have divided for the sleeves. They have been divided for a while, and now I'm just currently plugging along on my body. I have around 6 inches. So also, I would like to adjust statements that I said last week about this sweater, because I said that it was the length of my body, not my body, but the body of the sweater, was significantly shorter than what I wanted than was written in the pattern, and that is not true. I checked the pattern recently because that is important, and I think actually what I wanted was longer than what was written in the pattern. So I apologize. I should have checked the pattern first. I should have double checked that information before I started saying stuff like that. Not that it matters. It is literally just the length of a body. And it's not longer by a significant amount. It may be like half an inch, if that. So yes. I just wanted to clarify because I remember saying all of that and being like, my body is my personal body. I just want this to be at this length around this area, and it's just much shorter than what is written in the pattern. And then when I looked at the pattern, I was like, oh no. I redact all that. That was just not what I wanted to say. That was not what I was meaning. So now we have the correct information. Now we have explained what is the truth in regards to my wool and honey sweater. So yes, I am still plugging along. I also said last week that I thought I was very close to the length that I needed. That was also not true. I was significantly less, and my gauging, just looking at it and gauging where I was inch-wise, was just very off. Which is not a bad thing, it's just a fact. But we're just like full transparency. Podcasters, myself, I'm not perfect. I share very insignificant misinformation about sweaters that I'm working on because I apparently don't know what I'm talking about sometimes, and that's fine, you know? It's the reality of the situation. We're just being honest. So yes, I have knit a good amount more, like I said, about an inch. I keep wrapping this around the ball and it just keeps getting tangled. Anyway, so this is where it was last time I showed it to you. I've knit about an inch. I know it doesn't look like that, but that is true. Another Little Bitty Delights progress keeper. Surprise, surprise. I need to measure where I am now. I know it's definitely not where I need to be, but I know it's getting close, so that is good. I do know that. So yeah, I'm just plugging along in the body. This may be coming with me to Colorado because it is like a mindless project. If not this, my Sunday Funday sweater would be my mindless project that I bring. But depending on how I'm feeling about other projects that I'm bringing or whatever, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So this is my wool and honey. We're just gonna start singing this now because now we're making this a thing. I apologize if that is annoying. I hope it's not. Anyway, that is my wool and honey sweater by Andrea Mowry. So I worked on that, and then also I'm pretty sure I worked on this. I feel like I remember working on this. I need to double check where my progress keeper is. Oh no, it's pulled something. Oh, that's just the tail. Okay. Hallelujah. Yeah, I've made significant progress on this. I thought I would have this done by this week, but like I said, we knew that things were happening this past weekend and I may not have had time, so I did not have time, but I did knit an inch on my wool and honey sweater. Will I remember singing the name next time I talk about it? I have no idea. But this is my Basque shawl by Samantha Gurin, and I am using an Amethyst Birthstone mini kit from Hue Loco. And I am almost done. We can see where the progress keeper is. That's where I was last week. Oh, itchy. It's the fibers, the fuzzy fibers. So that's where I was last week. I clearly made a lot of progress. I am now working on my last color that I have not worked with yet. And I still have, not a long way to go, but I still have a decent amount. So I will go back to colors that I have not used up yet and finish it off, which is really great. I'm glad that it worked out that way because I I was not confident in my fading when I started this project, and that's okay. That's fine. It was just, there was a lot going on when I started this project. I know I've talked about it before, but this was my birthday cast on because I was born in February, amethyst, all that stuff, that just full circle. But that was when the big freeze and whatever you want to call it was happening in Texas, and so that's how I was celebrating my birthday, which was entertaining to say the least. And my gauge is really off on this project. It is just all over the place, and I was trying to figure out how to fade my yarns in a way that I wanted, and I was just not in the right mindset to do that. I was focused on other things, and I was trying to use this as a distraction, and I don't think it turned out very well. But that's okay. You know what? I tried. It was helpful in the moment, and we're making things work now. So it's all good. It's all good. It'll be beautiful in the end no matter what. So this is a asymmetrical shawl. We have some brioche lace, and we have some garter stitch sections. So we've got some fancy and we've got some super simple, but look at that lace. Look how beautiful that is. And by lace, all I mean is increasing and decreasing. That's all you need to know how to do with brioche to make these little guys. And it is super easy. It's a very well written pattern. I have test knit for Samantha before, and again, another wonderful human being. She has designed many beautiful patterns, and I am just really excited to finish this and be able to wear it. I may bring this with me as a hopefully finish block and take pictures, because again, I want to take pictures of this in the mountains, because oh my goodness, even with these colors, it is just so beautiful. Again, Hugh Loco, Nicole just does beautiful work. And yes, I know this side is smaller. I am very aware. Blocking fixes everything, and I know it'll be wonky. It will be wonky. It will not be the exact shape that I'm looking for, but that's okay, because this has memories knit into it, you know? It's got some memories, and it's my birthday cast on, so. I'd also like to get this done before August, which is the 6th months. February and August are the 6th month equivalent, I guess. There's a way more like easy way to say that, but we're just gonna go with the way that I said it because I've already said it. So hopefully it makes sense. But I would like to say that I finished this before August, because my birthday cast on last year? Yeah, I think. Maybe? I think it might have been. That's crazy. My birthday cast on last year, I believe, was Free Your Fade, and that became a Languishing Whip. So I do not want that to happen with this. Also because I have other things I want to work on. Also because I really just love this project, and I would really love to be able to wear it. I also have plans, whatever is left over from my minis, I will be making into tassels, and I will be putting it on either end, and maybe the point in the front, but maybe probably just the ends. And I'm very excited about that. The colors just go together so well. I can't even with the colors. It's just so beautiful, and it's amethyst and it's purple, and it's just so good. It's so me. I love good purple and maroon. You know. Oh man. So that is all that I have. That is all the knitting that I have. We have a lot of test knitting. That was the main bulk of the knitting that we had to talk about. But I did have 2 other personal projects, so that is good. We will see what will come and what will get knit in the upcoming 2 weeks. I know we are planning on going to Make Yarn Stitch, which is very exciting. It is a yarn shop. It is my mom's new local yarn shop in Edwards, which is very wonderful. I have no plans, and that's okay. You know, I don't think I need to have plans of things to get. I'm sure something will come to me. There's plenty of time to do research. There's plenty of time. And I probably will, and I will have options, but right in this moment I do not have plans, and that is okay. So with that, thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to me rant and ramble and sing my wool and honey sweater. And if that's a thing now, I don't know. We will just have to wait and see. Oh my goodness. It's just very, very strange, very weird. But you know what? It is who I am. We are all unique in our own way, and I just happen to sing a lot, and that's fine. And there's so many other people who sing a lot, and even more than I do, and it is wonderful. Yes. I did this last week. I started ending the podcast and then just started talking about something very random, and that was not what I had intended on ending the podcast on. So anyway, we'll just continue on. Focus. I have all the social medias, I have show notes, I have yarn shop information. If you have any questions or just want to say hello, please feel free to send me a message. I would love to chat or give you information that I may have forgotten to include someplace, which is very likely. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. We have all the crafty plans here. I want to work on my basque shawl. I want to finish the mitts. I want to finish the thing for Shannon. Continue on with my wool and honey. The Sunday Fundy is a little bit on the back burner for right now. I'll probably try and work on it like at least maybe 20 minutes a day if I can, just to continue to make progress on it so I don't like let it languish too long. And then there are other projects that I want to finish, so because I would really love to, it may not be finished. I would have to really, you know what, I could probably make it happen if I finished my lumpy space, because I got the yarn from Maker and Stitch, and then I could have it finished and then I could go and show it to them and then take pictures in the mountains. You know, it all comes back to taking pictures in the mountains, you know, because it is so beautiful. So beautiful. Gotta take advantage of it, you know, because it's literally my parents' backyard. Which is just incredible. So anyway, with all of that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for enduring my singing and just my ranting and rambling. Thank you for being you. You are wonderful. You are enough. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a wonderful and safe 4th of July if you are celebrating that. And try and stay cool because it's hot, you know. Anyway, with that, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.